I just finished my first season running my homemade outdoor wood boiler. Today's video, I'm going to highlight some of the key things that I learned running the outdoor wood boiler. I'm going to talk about what exactly is this thing, how does it work, about what type of wood is best, the best way to prepare your firewood, what tools you might need if you're running a system like this, was it even worth it, and would I do it again? Let's get into it. So inside the door here is a burn chamber. Load this thing up with firewood, and around the outside of this burn chamber is water. This system holds about 300 gallons of water. And yes, this is a homemade boiler. I built it myself. Then inside the control box here, got all my switches and all my controls. And underneath this red cover is a stoke fan that blows through the door here and comes out here and stokes the fire. Now the fire only gets stoked when the temperature of the water drops below a certain point. Usually 160 degrees is around where I have it set. And then once it's up to temperature, there's an automatic damper in here that closes down, and it prevents oxygen from getting in, or any airflow getting into the fire. And if you know anything about a fire, it needs airflow, specifically oxygen, to keep it going. So automatically chokes down the fire and doesn't allow the fire to get any hotter. It actually lets the fire cool right down if the water's up to temperature. The water pump on the side, which I'm not going to show you, but underneath this side there's a pipe welded on the side where a water pump is bolted up, and it pumps that water into the house through insulated tubing underground. Now I don't have that all set up yet. I just ran mine temporarily above the ground for the first season. So if I'm going to run this system again, I need to buy this specific insulated buried PEX and dig a big trench, set this up away from the house, and run it all the way into the house. I don't actually use any of the warm water that this thing generates inside my house. It doesn't make my hot water. It just pumps the warm water into the house, and then it comes back. If you're really curious about the specifics of how that works, you can check out some of my older videos. But right now, because I'm done for the year, I'm going to work on cleaning all the ash out. What wood is best? So if you're burning firewood inside your house on an indoor wood stove, you want to make sure you have wood that's not going to generate creosote. So any sort of pine or softwood, you generally want to avoid burning in your inside wood stove, because if you build up creosote in your chimney, it can clog your chimney, but also it can lead to chimney fires. An outdoor wood boiler, it's all outside and there's not much of a chimney, so it's not much of a concern. Additionally, the stoke fan on this thing gets the fire hot enough to where it largely burns a lot of the creosote off, especially in the flue going up the chimney. So you have a little bit more flexibility in what you can burn on a boiler like this. Found that I really like burning maple, soft maple. Walnut was good. You get the longest burns out of oak, but oak holds a little bit of moisture inside. So that brings me to my next point. What's the best way to process firewood? So most of the wood that I burned this last year, I cut and split in September, and I burned it the following season. So it didn't have much more than a couple months to dry. And I really didn't have much of an issue because the stoke fan is able to push in enough oxygen to get the wood to burn down, which is a huge advantage over an inside wood stove because you don't have to dry your wood for 2 years. If anyone says I'm losing efficiency, I would kind of argue differently. I obviously got the longest burn times when I burned big rounds, like big oak rounds that are really heavy to load. Obviously, that's not an ideal thing that you want to do forever, but if I loaded oak rounds, or any big rounds for that matter, I ended up getting the longest burn times, which again is an advantage because you don't have to split the wood. There's less processing of the wood. Now, if all I did is load big, wet oak rounds, almost green, and they had almost no drying time, and it wasn't that cold out, I think that the boiler would have really struggled to keep the fire going. Obviously, the colder it is, the more heat you're going to be pulling out of the water, and so the more often that the stoke fan is going to be kicking on, pumping oxygen into the fire. That being said, I think the best way to process the firewood is a little mix of both. Some smaller pieces and some big rounds, and always make sure you throw a little bit of both of them in there. To be honest, when you put big rounds in, you end up having the top and the corners where you can fit smaller pieces in. So it's good to have a good mix. But I burn through more wood by about 1.5 to 2 times as I would if I had an indoor wood stove, but it was less processing time. And if you've ever done a bunch of firewood before, splitting wood is what takes the longest. So by not having to split wood, I spent significantly less amount of time getting firewood as opposed to running a wood stove. Because you're going to go through about 8 to 10 cords of wood a winter, maybe more, depending on the size of the house that you're heating, or if you're heating a shop at all. I would say that unless you live on property and you can go get the firewood behind your house on your property or very close to it, to your house, it's not worth it. And additionally, on that note, a huge thing that helps me get firewood in a hurry is this right here behind me. My tractor with a loader on it. Put grapple tongs on the back here and drag a whole tree up to the house, or I can cut it in 15-foot sections and put the pallet forks, which are right there, which have a grapple on it, and pick the log up, carry it up to the house, and either pile it up and wait till I get time to cut it up, or hold it off the ground at, 4 feet off the ground and just walk by with the chainsaw. I bought a new chainsaw a couple years ago, a Steel MS 400. It cuts really well. It significantly cuts down on the amount of time that I spend cutting firewood. I did all of this wood, which is enough for a whole season of burning. And I had the logs up here, and it took me maybe 4 to 6 hours to cut and stack it. And all of this stuff is ready to go right in the boiler, especially because it's going to dry all year. But chunks like this can just go right in. So if you have to drive a long way and go get firewood or even buy firewood, I would definitely say a wood boiler is not for you. Having acres and acres and acres and acres, over 100 acres here to cut wood off right in my backyard, and I can just drive the tractor or the truck right out there and get it, makes it way more worth it for me because of where I'm at. While my wife is 100% capable of loading an indoor wood stove, it gives me peace of mind knowing that I can load this boiler up and not have to monkey with it for 16 plus hours. Depending on the outdoor temperature and the type of wood that I would load in, I was able to get burn times between 16 and 36 hours on a load of wood, which makes it really nice that my wife does not have to load the boiler. Also, all of the mess is outside. I can load my wood truck up with firewood and just back it up to the boiler and load the boiler right out of the wood truck and not have to carry the wood inside. So there's less wood handling running the outdoor wood boiler. That, amongst many other reasons, is why I really enjoyed this. If you're on natural gas, it's definitely going to be less cost effective to run an outdoor wood boiler. But because I'm on propane, I would spend about $2,500 to $3,000 a year on propane. I built this thing for about $2,000. So I have a year ROI. Yes, I have to spend time going and getting firewood, but I don't have to pay for a gym membership. I can just go out in the woods and haul some firewood and get a good workout, get some exercise, get outside. And a lot of the trees that I cut either come down in storms or are invasive, or I'm trimming them for habitat and or timber management. A lot of the trees are taken down for a reason and not just haphazardly going out and cutting trees down for firewood. Another huge advantage of this is that if this thing is cared for, you treat the water, you ground the system to the ground, the boiler to the ground, to an earth ground, so there's not any electricity that is accelerating the corrosion of it. Things can last 25 to 30 years. And even if there's a few leaks, the way I designed it and built it, I should be able to access the leaks to repair them and keep it going. So pull out your investment calculator and put in $3,000 invested every year, earning 10 to 12% invested in passively managed index funds over the course of 30 years, and let me know what that number is, because that's how much money this thing will actually save me. Yes, I've got to do a little work in the winter. I like to go outside and do stuff, so it's not a big deal for me to load it once a day with firewood or twice a day. Getting firewood's not a big deal because I have plenty of it behind my house. I like running the chainsaw. I like being on the tractor. I like doing habitat and forestry work in the woods. So this thing absolutely makes sense. I'm excited to get it set up in its final home, maybe build a wood shed next to it, bury some insulated pecs to the house. And I also am going to be heating the heated floor in my barn as well as my house and my domestic hot water. I'll do more videos on that later, but if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you made it to this part of the video, do me a favor and let me know by commenting the word boiler down below. So start your comment with boiler so I know you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.